Welcome to the Crimson Circle Show. Whether you're listening on the Awakening Zone or if you're actually listening or watching on the Crimson Circle website, crimsoncircle.com. We're here for the Crimson Circle Show. It's a very special day. It's icy and frosty. Just a perfect day for us to invite Adamus through Jeffrey Hoppy. We're very excited about that. Welcome, everyone. And we are broadcasting from Cold Creek Canyon, Colorado, just outside of Golden in the Denver area. So, thank you, everyone. Thank you for joining us, those in our live audience, as well as those listening in. We're going to start our session with Breathing with Norma Delaney. Thank you, Norma.
I invite you, snuggle back into your chair, back into your body, back into this grand temple called you. Allow you. And then from the joyousness of amazing gratitude, I invite you, breathe in so deeply, breathing in all the way down. Feel that pool of gratitude that's within you for this new series, this new beautiful season, this new moment in time. Will you breathe so deeply and receive just for you? Feel this. Yes. Yes, every breath. It's dancing around the room. Amazing love, amazing joy, celebration with and for each one of us. Breathe. Breathe so deeply as you settle deep. Settle deep into the sweetness within you to receive even more fully all that Adamus chooses to bring and share, breath at a time, breath at a time, deeper and deeper into the sweet gratitude, this love affair that lives within you. Allow you to receive it now, breath at a time, breath at a time, just for the joy, Thank you.
I'm falling, come catch me, you can't make me wait. Stars in the heavens, watch out, 'cause I'm headed that way. You came for me and made me new. For all of my days, I will give you the praise that you do. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Step on upwards, I'm keeping a pace. Wherever your heart is, I'm headed to show me the way. I'll hang on every word you say. If you turn the locks, then I'll hand in my key every day. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah.
I am that I am, the free and sovereign Artemis Saint-Germain. Welcome to our new series, Chambro. Welcome to the Freedom Series. Sounds good. It's going to be tough. I say that, you laugh, but it's real. We're going to discuss freedom today. I would say that up until now, perhaps the most important message that you've given yourself through me, the most important, perhaps not the most brilliant or wise, but the most important, perhaps not the longest, maybe not the shortest, but the most important, because everything right now that's happening in your life is about freedom. Everything happening in your life is about enlightenment. Everything that's happening with the transition out of the old era is about freedom. Everything. You can deny it. You can crash into it. You can pretend that I'm talking to somebody else. But everything right now that this planet is going through is about freedom. No wonder the energy's a little anxious today, wouldn't you say? Do you really think writing notes is going to help? You're free to do so. Energy a little tight. What's coming up next? What's going to happen in these very critical next 3 months of your life? Very critical, yes. What's been going on within you? Why has it been a little confusing lately? Why has it been foggy lately? Why has it just been lately? Lovely outfits today. I hope we can do this every month, yes. Why? Because it shows that you're free. Free to dress any way you want, not like everybody else on the street, not conforming to anything other than allowing your own freedom. So let's take a deep breath, my dear Chambro. And as you do, let's open the heart. Open the heart, the literal heart. Did you feel a little anxiety, a little tension in the heart as we started today? Let's take a deep breath and open that heart. How do you do that? You simply choose and allow. That heart wants to open up. Oh, as much as you've tried to keep it shut down, as much as you've thought you didn't know what that heart energy was, pretended you didn't know what it was, and you do know what it is. In spite of keeping it closed down because you were afraid of getting hurt again. Well, you're going to get hurt again, so you might as well open up the heart also. You're going to get hurt by yourself, Andy. Isn't that the good news? Let's open up the heart today. Stop thinking so much. And as we're talking about it, let's open up the mind also. Yeah. You know, it's really not the mind that's the problem. You're the problem. Usually, yes, always. Definitely. Well, you're the problem, and I say that very lovingly. You've got this thing called the mind. You're stuck in the mind. You're caught in the mind. But who put you there? Duh, not me. Yes, you did. It was a comfortable place. It was a closed down place. It was a limited place to allow you to have some interesting experiences on this planet, but now we're moving beyond that. So you can open up the mind also. Oh, that's even harder than opening up the heart. Harder, more difficult. Why? Because in a closed down mind, you can really control, limit your experiences. You can keep them in what's a comfortable distance to you. You can overly define your experiences and your interpretations of them. But when you open your mind, amazing things happen. Yes, amazing things happen. And there'll be a period of time where you feel you're going out of your mind, but you're not. You're just getting back you. So this indeed is the Freedom series. Watch carefully, observe carefully yourself, everything around you for the next 3 months in particular. Because this issue of freedom is facing everyone. Everyone. I mean everyone. It is a cosmic issue, you see. It's not just this thing here on earth, it's not just you. This is a cosmic issue. This is not just the end of an era for this planet or your solar system. It is the end of an era for all of creation. Pretty heady. Take a deep breath. Open that heart, open your mind, and it truly is. That's why you're getting a lot of information, sensations, and feedbacks, and you wonder where the hell they're coming from right now. They're coming from everywhere. Your spiritual families, they're coming from them. All around the cosmos, there is this awakening, you could say. There is this desire for freedom, and there's also an intense fear of freedom, an intense anxiety. Oh, and it's not just here on this planet. They're debating or arguing. They call it different subjects, but it's essentially about freedom. It's happening all over creation right now. You see, when Spirit, the Eternal One, gifted you with your potential sovereignty, your unique I amness, said, go forth, discover yourself, discover the I am. You did. All of you did. Any souled being did. But they came to a point that still exists, a point that's still in its form of stuck energy because of stuck consciousness. Consciousness of all the angelic beings played and had fun and created cosmic angelic experiences. But at a certain point, this consciousness, your consciousness, the consciousness of your angelic families, of the Order of the Ark and everything else, suddenly stopped and said, the next step is freedom. Freedom from what? Well, essentially, freedom from spirit. Freedom from home. Freedom from God. Freedom from the Eternal One. You see, as children of God, we all come to the point of even releasing that. Pushing some buttons. Some of you saying, but, how can I possibly have freedom from spirit? Am I not spirit? What happens when I accept my freedom from spirit, from the Godhead? Well, you suddenly accept the I amness and your own sovereignty, free and independent, something that Spirit always wanted. Always wanted. Spirit gave each of us the greatest gift of all. Sovereignty. Freedom. The I am that I am. Spirit wouldn't have it any other way. Wouldn't just do it part way. Wouldn't say, I'm going to let you exist, but I'm going to have limits on it. I'm going to let you exist, but you're always mine. You always came from me. No. Spirit, in this infinite compassion and love, said, I'm going to give you so much, Pete. I'm going to give you all. All. Even to the point where someday you have total freedom, even of me. We'll always be pals. I'll always know everything you ever did. I always love you. But at some point, even the freedom from me. That's the true sovereignty and the true discovery of the soul, and the hardest step of all. When the angelic beings playing in creation, when they came to the point of realizing that it was time for the freedom and sovereignty, consciousness restricted, constricted, tightened up, what happened then? Energy stopped moving, or at least moving in the free-flowing, open way that it had done. Consciousness created a situation that created an energy impasse. The energy is still there, but it's swirling instead of flowing and expanding and moving. The energy started to go into itself, and you know what that's like. When your own energy not really being allowed its freedom and its expression, you know exactly what happens. It goes internal on you. It starts tearing you apart, starts driving you crazy, starts setting up all sorts of weird things in your life. And even though you say, I don't know why this is happening, yes, you do. It's you. The energy has to do something in response to consciousness, even if it means tearing itself apart, even if it means destroying what was false. Oh, some of you might think it was true, but it will destroy what was false. You could say the energy continues to move, but it goes inside. It's going to tear down some of those walls. It's going to make you sick. It's going to make you crazy. Going to make you sad. Going to make you depressed. All the rest of those things. It's just energy, and it's responding to your consciousness. And it's all about freedom. When the energy stopped moving in the angelic realms a long, long time ago, that's when you, as angelic beings, decided to come to this planet, a way of understanding consciousness and energy, a way of understanding yourself as unique beings, a way of understanding yourself from within, very deep in an experience. You knew from the very beginning that sooner or later your own call to freedom would come forth. And here we are. It's not just the end of the Mayan calendar or some cosmic astrological cycle or even just the Atlantean cycle. It's the end of an era that had you dependent on something or someone else, including spirit. Sister. Might as well just take off those old vestments, Father. Let them go. Now, some would say it's blasphemy. Blasphemy. How can you walk away from spirit? How can you walk away from God? Well, let's define the difference. God, man-made creation. I've told you exactly what I feel about God. It's a man-made farce. Truly is. It's a lie. Oh, it's a huge lie. And it's been developed, modified, refined over the years. Books put out like they were really written by God. Not. Some inspired, yes, for their time. But this is a new time, a new era. Calder's telling me I'm treading on Sid ice. No, there's no ice. I'm walking on water. And my dear Linda Visa looking
Lovely.
so happy today.
It's fine.
So God, a man-made creation, and then you use the word spirit kind of interchangeably. Spirit maybe a little nicer than God, whatever you call it. It is the creator source within you. Yes, it is the oneness within you as well. But now it's time for freedom. Something the Eternal One has always wanted. Why? Well, using human terms, you could say that to truly know the I amness of the Eternal One, of Spirit, Mother, Father, God, however you want to put it. To truly understand it, there had to be freedom. There had to be a final release of self, a final letting go of self, no more control of self. And for a long time, that self was also you. But ultimately, it's about the release, about letting go. So Spirit, the Eternal One, can really know thyself. As you come to know yourself, to accept your freedom and sovereignty, Spirit will understand its sovereignty. Kind of an interesting proposition. Most humans tend to think that Spirit is elevated, knows everything, can do anything. Not. Spirit, as I've talked about before, is absolute simplicity, absolute purity. In a way, much like a child with its innocence. Spirit doesn't know what's going to happen next, do you? Spirit doesn't know every thought that you have because you can block yourself. What proof? You block yourself from yourself. Therefore, you can block yourself from Spirit. Therefore, Spirit can block itself from you. Spirit does not know everything. That would be a sick game. If everything was known, everything that was ever going to happen and to be, that would be a sick game. This is also an experience for Spirit. When you discover something about yourself, Spirit discovers something about itself. When you see a beautiful sunset, Spirit sees a beautiful sunset. Spirit didn't see it before you and then send you out there to go see, look at this beautiful sunset that I created. Spirit asked you to create it. And the Eternal One then sees it and feels it and experiences it. So one could say that Spirit truly will understand his, her sovereignty when you understand yours. Let's take a deep breath. And the same applies to freedom. To freedom. Spirit. Understanding freedom when you do. Freedom. We're entering into that in this series. Freedom. The symbol. Right here. Right here. The circle. Completion, coming full circle. The spade, ascension. Reverse the spade, you have a heart. The spade, ascension. The fleur-de-lis, the integration. Integration of masculine, feminine, light, dark, human, spirit. It's right here. It's right here.
Lovely.
Right here. So, this is indeed the Freedom Series. Yes, sounds lovely, and it is. And the next couple of months up until, you could say it was December 12th, December 21st, December 31st, it really doesn't matter. Next couple months, going to be interesting. Yes. Interesting. Challenging. You don't mind if I point, do you? No. Yes. A little difficult. You're going to see the planet really going a bit crazy. Yes. You're sure you're going to see yourself going crazy. Yes. You're going to see yourself going through and experiencing what will set you free. I remember a day when we used to do this. Yes. Little christening ceremony, yes. So, yes, for the picture. Good. So, free. I guess it's appropriate that I have a real sword today. Yes, because, yeah. Because, no, you don't really think I would poke you with this, do you? Not intentionally. Yeah, I might just slip and fall. You would be free. Appropriate that I have a real sword today. Yes, to cut some of the ties. Yes, and not to cut any of you precious ones, but to cut some of the ties. So I won't be flinging this around. I can tell it makes some of you nervous. Freedom. Let's take a look. What is freedom? Linda, microphone, please. What is freedom? Take a deep breath. Feel into it for a moment. What is freedom? Nice word. Often overused word, misunderstood word. What is freedom?
It's allowing everything to happen in the moment.
Allowing everything to happen in the moment. Good, good. I like that. I'll write that down. Do you allow everything to happen in the moment, Mary?
No.
Really? Why not?
I think my mind gets in the way sometimes.
You think.
Yeah, exactly. There was no mistake there.
You said the words.
There was no mistake there.
Allowing in the moment. Allowing in the moment. What a wonderful thing. Why don't you allow in the moment?
Fear.
Fear. Fear of what?
Letting go.
Fear of what? Right, practical, real life. Real life. Fear of?
Not having money, not having a home, not having...
Well, crap, you already have all that.
Right, exactly.
So
Exactly.
now what do
So
you have
what
to
the
fear?
heck?
Yeah. What do you have to fear? Yes. Could I tell you what
Nothing.
you're fearing? You
Please.
get these voices, mother's voice, father's voice, teacher's voice, and most of you do to one degree or the other. You really got them. You like them.
Oh, yeah.
You love them.
Yeah.
And they play all the time. They're always there. And those are the things you fear because they're telling you, no, Mary, be a good girl. Why don't you be a bad girl sometime? Just, yeah. Ooh. Yeah. Just to experience it. Just to experience it. Stop trying to be so good. See, that's where you're missing the freedom thing.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Good. Great. Good. What is freedom? Yeah, sure.
I liked hers.
Yeah, you can't have hers. What is freedom?
Not being so scared of life.
Why are you scared of life?
Just a lot of things come up. This
They
has been
do.
a hard year, and
Next 3
I
months
can't
are
wait
gonna
till
be
it's over.
yeah. Oh, what do you
more
think is going to
months.
happen at the end of the year?
I'm hoping the energy has shifted enough to get back to.
What makes energy shift?
Tell us.
I have. No more. Consciousness. Consciousness. What is
I just have a lot of
consciousness?
fear. The whole fear thing was a good one.
Yeah. A lot of fear. Well, what is consciousness? Adamus 101.
Boy.
You, awareness.
being aware,
Your
yeah,
awareness.
aware,
All your
aware.
potentials. All of your potentials. So consciousness stimulates energy. Consciousness created energy in the first place. And it stimulates energy, and therefore it creates your reality. But if you're not even aware of what consciousness is, and if your consciousness is very closed down intentionally, holding back, well, you're not going to get much. And that energy is going to go and work on you. It's going to start beating you up. The only reason why is it wants you to move. It wants you to get beyond. And it will bring up all the demons and the dragons and the darknesses and everything else. And you'll say, why, dear God, am I going through this? God says, so you can be free. I thought that was funny. Hilarious. Why? God's not doing it to you or for you, or spirit, or whatever you want to call
I
it.
do think the energy is happening right now in my family because we need to move.
Yeah.
We were talking at
Literally.
a break that there's a reason for all this energy is we do need the shift.
Yeah.
But it's hard when you're going through it.
Really hard. But imagine for a moment, just a brief moment, with open heart and open mind, that you could be free. You could be free. Amazing concept. Amazing. So simple, but yet it's so easy to get stuck. It's so easy to say, why me? It's so easy to pretend that you don't know the answer so that you can keep playing the game. I'll say that again. It is so easy to pretend you don't know the answer so that you can keep playing the game. Duh. Once you acknowledge that you have the answer, let me do that with my hand. Once you acknowledge that you really do have the answer, the game's up, you have freedom. But the game's up, and you have freedom. That's, dear Shambra, I love my podium. And the sign of freedom. Dear Shambra, this is so important, so simple, and so easy. But I can tell you right now, unless something changes here this afternoon, or this evening, or morning, wherever you happen to be, it's going to be tough. I'll say that again. Dear Shambra, this is so easy. So easy. I mean, really. Let's distill it. Let's get down to the essence. This is so easy, but unless something changes in this shroud gathering, which is really just you, I'm just distracting, like my outfit today. Yeah. I wanted a real gold crown. Unless something changes, it's going to be difficult. A couple of months of real interpersonal challenges. And it doesn't need to be that way. But I just have this prophetic feeling and pathetic feeling that you're going to make it that way. Yeah, probably. Why? Game, patterns, not knowing any different, not really sure, saying, I like the little bit of entertainment here. I like getting together with Shambra. I like eating, but I don't know. There's got to be an answer somewhere. It's right here, right now. It's you. It's coming from you. It can be so easy, or it can be difficult. Well, the next couple of months are really going to tell. Now, that being said, I'm digress. Okay. So let's get back. What is freedom? Linda, microphone, please.
Calling on your special guest and your friend, Jeffrey.
Yes. What is freedom? Would you mind standing up?
Of course. Freedom to make changes in my life.
Good. What would you like to change in your life? Top number one on the list.
A new avenue, a totally new avenue in my life.
Totally new avenue.
Well, I'm in the process. I just quit my job I had for 30-some years, and I am.
Let's take a moment and applause.
I am available.
I notice your partner is not applauding, but
Yes,
that's
well,
a different
Yes, she is.
And now it's a golf clap.
Oh, no. She's very supportive
Yes,
of it.
absolutely.
It seems like we were just talking about that in the last few weeks or last few months, they experienced something similar.
Yes.
I did that for years, and in the last few weeks.
How do you feel? How do you
well,
feel?
I feel really good,
Yes?
but I feel scared.
Why?
I know that I didn't leave that to be unsuccessful in life, but I don't know what successful next is.
Yes. Good. That's an important point. I'll stop you there. I don't know what successful is going to look like. That's such a key point. Because it would be the old patterns, the old mind, the old traditions and ruts that would get you to say, well, this is what success looks like. It's an interesting, frightening, but beautiful thing to say, I don't want to look at tomorrow with today's mind or today's eyes. I know tomorrow is grand. I know that. It's in my heart. I know it. And I'm willing to allow for it, including anything. Now, that anything, that's the tough one. Anything. Because there is the tendency, I have plaques and things all over the walls, posters and bumper stickers on all of your cars. Enlightenment and freedom is not a kind of maybe somewhat thing. It's not. It's an all or nothing thing. Ask the ascended masters. It's an all or nothing thing. And it's not something that you do a little bit of enlightenment. It is or it's not. Because if you're testing the waters, you're going to find that there's sharks in there. Enlightenment, freedom, you can't have a little bit of freedom or a medium amount of freedom or even the perception of a lot of freedom. It is or it's not. And that's part of the problem. That's where the mind does come in. You controlling your mind. Saying that, I'll take a look at it. I'll quit my job. That's a big step. But I'm just going to see what happens next. I'm not going to do anything else. I'll take a little bit of freedom. But a little bit of freedom is actually even more of a prison, you see. A little bit of freedom is actually, in my opinion, worse than no freedom. Because now you're trapping freedom. Now you're controlling freedom. Freedom is supposed to be free. That's why they call it freedom. Now you're trapping freedom so that one day when your heart says that you're ready for true freedom, now you're going to know and have experience with a distorted form of freedom, a freedom that you've controlled. Then the mind's going to come and once again say, look what happened last time you tried freedom. The mind's going to say, you don't know anything about freedom. You have to go study freedom from somebody else, and you can't. You can't. Freedom is something you give to yourself. So it's either all or nothing, and that's very, very frightening. Very frightening indeed. Waving to all my friends. Yes. It's very frightening to think that it's all or nothing. That it's not just leaving the job. You said you were looking for a change, Jeffrey, a totally different avenue. Totally different. But what are you holding back right now? What are the holdbacks, the hesitations, the pauses?
The direction.
Knowing the direction?
What?
There is none. And that's the good news. That's the very good news. Because if it was one, it would have been imagined from the old human way, the old energy way. So there really is none. And the challenge and the beauty is, can you accept that?
I believe so.
You believe so?
Well, I want to believe that if my heart is open and I'm open and let it flow, things will come. I'll manifest.
Yes.
Opportunities or possibilities.
Yes.
For Terry and I,
Yes.
and it'll all be right.
Yes. And when one truly makes that choice for freedom, and is really ready for it, it's not all going to be right at first, as some of you may have discovered. Initially, there's a cleansing, clearing, changing process that takes place. Unfortunately, so often, it can result in things like losing your job, losing your house, losing your sense of identification with yourself, losing your beliefs, losing your friends, if you have any left, losing your losing your relationships. I'll always be your friend.
Thank you.
Losing possibly those things that the human held near and dear, and that's very frightening. That's very frightening. but ask any ascended master along the way. And actually, they coined a phrase that was later used as lyrics in the song. Freedom's just another word for nothing else to lose. I'm laughing. Kathumi's laughing. Freedom's just another word for nothing else to lose. How very profound. Absolutely. By the way, Calder wants a little trivia contest here. Okay. Who wrote the lyrics to the song? Yes, me and Bobby McGee. Who wrote the lyrics? Chris Christopherson, according to Caldera, who first popularized the song, got it on the charts. Try again. Who first popularized it, got it on the charts? This is Caldera's little game, not mine. King of the Road, Roger Miller. Yeah, first one. Later, Janis Joplin and other singers. But yes, so let's move on. He's trying to distract me. So, good. Freedom is just another word. By the way, the word freedom. If you look back on the origins of the word freedom in the English language, also the German language, freedom means peace. What a concept. When you have freedom, you have peace. And the supporting energy behind it is the goddess Frita. Frita, F-R-I-T-A, for those who are transcribing. The goddess Frita. Release. Release is what it really means. Good. Let's continue. Freedom. What is freedom to you? Linda's going to hand you the microphone. What is freedom to you? Would you mind standing, dear?
Making choices just for myself.
Making choices just for yourself. Excellent. Do you?
I'm getting better at it.
How, on a scale of 1 to 10, where are you?
Between a 6 and a 7.
Good. What's holding you back from the rest? She's married. For those who didn't hear, Edith was so kind to help out and say she's married.
She's married.
To him. To him.
To him. I blame it all on you. So
yeah, thank you. Everybody does.
No. I mean, that's part of it. Being married is part of it.
Sure.
You know, feeling that there's responsibility in that relationship.
Are you happily married?
Yeah, absolutely.
Good answer. Good answer.
Today.
Better answer. Good. So, responsibility. Other people actually, that's a fact of life. Now, does freedom change that? Will freedom change the responsibility that you have to others? Well, yes, duh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Then you'll be free to love them, to help them, to be there for them. It won't be a debt or an obligation. It won't be anything that you feel you have to do, but you simply want to. It goes back to one of my favorite sayings that I created. Only a master can be in service. Everyone else is but a servant. Same thing. Master is free and can give and share with others freely and openly and lovingly without any sense of obligation or need to get anything back. It's an amazing thing, but a very hard thing. Particularly if you have children, spouses, other people rely on you. One of the greatest human excuses for not having freedom is, well, my kids need me. Actually, they don't. They don't even like you a lot of the times. A lot of the times, not always. True. They love you, but sometimes they just don't like you so much. It's one of the greatest excuses. And it's interesting. A very, very interesting dynamic. There's a perception. A lot of you actually are headed towards this destiny. The perception that I'm going to be free when? Fill in the blank. When? The kids are grown up. My spouse leaves. When I hit the lottery, win $10 million. Yeah. $10 Yeah. Or I'm dead. I'm dead. When I finally let go of this physical body and transcend myself, I'm going to be so free. No, not at all. It really not. You'd be amazed. I'd like to take you out some night. We should do this. Halloween. What a good night. Halloween night. Let's go out and oh, yes. Great idea. Let's go out and visit the near-earth realms. Why? Why not? They're coming here to visit, so we'll just go meet them as well. So let's put that on the calendar. We'll do a special Halloween. Yeah. All Saints Night. We'll go out to the astral realms, the other dimensions, and really feel into it. We'll go very stealth-like so they don't see us or feel us. We can do that. We can cloak ourselves. My God, you do it every day. We can go out there and see what Spookland is really about. You're going to learn in the experience. Did we get that on the calendar already? Is it up on the website? It should be.
It's done.
It should be. Good, it's done. Just consider it done. Excellent. My drink. I should have one of your drinks, David. Calder says I'm not free to do this. Later. Yes, show us what you're made of. I like that. Come here, mofo. Are you driving tonight? No, good. David? Oh, you're so free. David, could we have a shot? Yes.
Something smooth, please.
Something smooth. You can have a couple.
Oh, true.
Yeah. You're singing later too, right?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Have a couple. Okay. Would you? Here, I'll take the microphone so you can drink.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow.
If Mom could see me.
She is. Yes. Good stuff. To
freedom.
To freedom. Freedom. Woo. Woo. Freedom. Yes. And then you have to symbolically toss it. Yes. Into the fire. Good. And the second one. Oh yeah. Oh. Yeah, mofo. Yes. And then after you're done, you throw it over. Would you open the fireplace so he can get it in there? Oh, I'm absorbing the fumes over here. Yes.
I think this one is glass.
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah?
Sure. Somebody will catch it. Thank you. So where were we? Freedom. Doesn't matter. Freedom. Oh, we had to break the seriousness. Oh, it was getting so heavy. It was, deadly. Oh, speaking of deadly, Halloween, that's where we were. Yes, Halloween we'll go out. We'll do a little journey into the near-earth realms. But there's a common misperception that when you die, suddenly you have freedom. No, not at all. Sometimes it's worse, more hellish, because suddenly you realize that you really don't. All of a sudden the answers didn't all appear to you all of the sudden. You still have the same issues, you would call them, that you had when you slipped out of the body. You just don't have a body. Then you all of a sudden realize there's certain advantage to having a body, certain advantage to having this type of very solid experience in the 3D, where you can actually have an opportunity to perceive, to really understand what's going on. And then what do? Try coming back and grabbing a body right away. And the rush is on. So let's get back to it. Linda, with a microphone, what is freedom? And I'll give you the answer at the end. What is freedom?
Just do it.
Just do it. Do you just do it? All these bold and courageous words. Yeah. But could you imagine you being up in front of your students, which you do, Pharaoh. Say, just do it. Sounds great. Makes you want to dance, makes you want to write a song. But do you do it?
You know, when you try it, it makes it easier to do it again and again and again.
Good. Good. And give me an example, real life example.
You know, just dancing around, even though it doesn't make a lot of sense.
Yes. Do you?
I do.
Good. Excellent.
And I love it.
In front of other people?
Yes.
Good.
Yes.
Come on out. So, do we have a little music to go with it? Do we need music?
No.
No, we don't need music. Go ahead. Go ahead. Pharaoh dances. Walk like an Egyptian. Dance like an Egyptian. Get down like an Egyptian. I think we've gone far enough here. Far enough. This is a family show. Thank you. So you do it, and thank you for actually doing it.
Thank you.
Yes.
You're talking about a family show after the alcohol? Really?
I'm not drinking. You all are. You're over 18? Yeah. Good. So tell me, what would you like to just do it, but you haven't just done it?
Streaking. Not quite the right temperature.
Not quite. It's warm in here. I have to ask, sometimes it's been a little while since I've been a human. Why do you want to streak?
Freedom.
Freedom, good. Yes, good.
It's freedom.
Yeah, liberation.
Liberation.
So you could theoretically just go out in the woods and do it by yourself. It doesn't have. Video, YouTube?
No.
No, good. Thank you. Good. So, is there anything else other than streaking? I mean, is that your highest aim in life? Just do it. Just take a deep breath with me for a moment, all of you. Just do it. What would that be? Deep breath. Just do it. Something that's truly a heart's desire. Just do it. What would that be?
Freedom.
Would be.
Sing it out.
Freedom.
Just sing it out.
Just sing it out. Good.
Yeah.
That's the highest aspiration, to sing freedom.
In this moment, that's it.
That's it. Good. Excellent. Then let's do it. Good. Thank you. For those of you who are watching for the first time, maybe the last time, we do something different and interesting here. When we're gathered like this, we have fun. What a concept in your life, yes. We do a lot of distractions. You see, when the energy gets heavy, boring, mental, we do something that's fun, lively, something unexpected, something to distract for a moment, distract the mind, distract from the day-to-day drudgery, distract from your problems. You see, that's what we do here. This is the classroom of the new spiritual energy. Thank you. Good. We sing, we drink, and we're going to streak later on. Yeah, in the summer. Yeah, but a real streaker, it's like a real polar bear will go swimming in the coldest day. A real streaker cares not. Good. Okay, let's continue moving along. Just a few more comments. What is freedom? What is freedom? Sister? What happened? You were practicing. Would you stand up, please? Come up to the front. would you come up here? Yes, yes. A little too much freedom at the convent. A little bit too much. A little too much freedom. He who speaks the loudest. So, sister, I'm so sorry, but it's like an immaculate conception, I'm sure. Good, good. You going to drink that?
No, I was going to give it to you.
Oh, good. Give it to me. Good, good.
It's called Hypnotic.
Hypnotic. Good. I'll sprinkle it on everybody.
It's from France.
France. You don't say France. 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 Yeah, thank you. Please, my dear. Please. Freedom. What's freedom?
Just being in the moment.
Bullshit. Oh, come on, please. You read these books and you get these lines, let's all be in the now moment. I mean, if you were really doing it, fine. But come on, now moment. Give me something tangible. Give me something I can go back to the other ascended beings and tell them I really got something profound today here in the classroom. Give me something that's real. Freedom, what is it to you?
When I hear that, I just see the Braveheart yelling freedom.
More bullshit.
That's what I see. That's what I see.
Okay, good, good. I'm glad you see that, but I want you to apply it to your life. Hold that sword.
To my life.
With your other hand. Yeah, you switch. Go like that. No, you hold a microphone. Yeah. So, now, hold that up, but don't point it at me, Andra, Ann, Linda, David. Yeah, point it that way. I'm going to stand back here. Freedom. So, Braveheart it is. Braveheart it is. Come on, do the Braveheart thing.
Freedom!
Oh, come on. Oh, no, hang on. Really? Really? Yeah, no, the brave. You said Braveheart. It comes to mind. I'm having too much fun today. It comes to mind when you think of freedom. You know why? It's in the bottle there. Hypnotic effect, hypnosis. Oh, the mind goes to this scene from Braveheart. So do Braveheart, but give it passion. Lift that sword. Yeah, hold that microphone up. Yes. Don't hit the light.
Freedom!
No. That sounded more like constipation. Let's really do it. I'll hold the microphone. Okay. Go ahead.
Freedom!
Would you like everybody to join in on this? Yeah. But they're not going to. Let's do that again.
Freedom!
Oh, you really scared the crap out of the enemy. Freedom! Like that. Freedom with passion. That's the problem, my dear. You got it, but it's hidden away. You don't let it out. You're not letting yourself be free. Stage is yours. Everybody's watching. 25,000 people online watching. This is your opportunity. Don't hit the light. This is or the TV screen or us. But other than that, you're totally free. Go ahead.
Freedom!
I'm leaving. I'm done. That's enough. Hey, but you say, I see this scene from, what do you call it, Braveheart. I see this scene and that inspires me. Freedom. Please. Do you see the contradiction, not just in you, but in all of you? The contradiction between what I hear you say sometimes and what you actually do. Between some lofty, machio thoughts and beliefs, and those machio thoughts and beliefs, those are keeping you from your freedom. 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 No, I don't. No, I want you to do it, not at me. Like you mean it. Freedom! Oh, jeez.
That was a little better.
Freedom. 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 Feel it. Feel it in there. It's not even about low, it's about real. It doesn't have to be loud. Freedom.
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 Imagine you're on your horse, you're tearing through the woods.
Get up here, Edith. The two of you together. Please. Please.
You should have known better.
I love this group. Just when I'm ready to go walk out the door, you prove it to me.
I want to take lessons.
You can work together, the two of you. Freedom. Freedom. Take lessons doing what?
I said I want to take lessons to keep my mouth shut.
We could do that. But no, Edith, no, do you take that? We love what you have to say. You are a spirit rock star all over the world. In that camera right there, they're all saying, Edith, 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 Edith. Jerry Springer show here. You can put the sword down. Simply put. Edith, freedom. No, together, the Freedom Sisters. Edith and Freedom.
3, 2, 1. Freedom!
Yeah, no, don't. Yeah. Sounded like a cat, on a hot one. Let's try that again. For everybody watching in on. Yes, no, you didn't. Let's do that again, but without the screeching at the end. Okay.
Freedom.
You're in church, it sounds like. Freedom. He gave me freedom.
I'm taking my free choice to get off of this stage.
Thank you. That is freedom. But you don't have free choice. Good. Thank you. Thank you for just leaving like that. That was good. Where are we? Who's next? Freedom. What is freedom?
I think we should check in with Mofo.
Yeah. Would you try to stand up? Try to stand up.
Freedom is the bathroom.
Yeah.
Zero apprehension, zero expectation.
Okay, good. I like that. No pause. Could I say no pause?
Yeah.
No pause. Okay.
You're
good.
free to.
No pause. Good. No pause. Excellent. Thank you. I'd like to take a moment now. We're talking about freedom. We're having some fun. A little silly at times maybe, but really to keep the energies moving. So important to laugh at ourselves. To not take ourselves so serious. A little laughing is good. Freedom is a very heavy subject, actually, because there is such a reluctance to do it right now. All the excuses in the world not to have freedom. Every reason to pretend you don't know what freedom is. That the other thing is sometimes you tell yourself you're free, but you're not. I really don't know any humans right now that are really free. Let's take a moment and just feel into this thing that's going to be such an important part of your life in the next couple of months. Let me reiterate. That means repeat. I had to tell that to Caldra. let me repeat. In the next couple of months, and there's no hard and fast date, but in the next couple of months, everything that comes into your life, every experience, everything that happens is going to relate to freedom. It's going to be about freedom. The energies are going to be addressing you about freedom. Are going to be coming right into your face, and it can be the most fun, easy, fulfilling, and rewarding thing you've ever done. Or the most difficult. No, you don't want that. No, you say that. You say that, but let's just put things on the table here, meaning let's not have mock you. You say that, but look what you're creating. Look what you're creating. You're doing a wonderful job, all in all. But there's still this hesitation, this pause. There's still this, I'm not sure I'm really getting it, feeling and attitude. They're still waiting for something outside of you to happen so you can respond to it instead of creating it for yourself. That's real freedom. When you are creating it, when everything that happens to you from now on, you understand, you know that you're creating it. It's coming from you. You're not wondering about it. You're not just spouting nice words, but you're going, the beauty of my creations. Now, a creation is not something that you have to construct in your mind. A creation is not something that you have to plan. You really can't plan creation. Planning is a very human mental thing. Creation is the allowing of the free flow of energies. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. But what happens while that sounds really nice, while you've been working on this for many, many lifetimes, what happens so often is there are a lot of ifs, ands, or buts. Or worse yet, let's add it to that list, if, and but. I just don't know. That's probably even more dangerous or more painful than if, and, or but. This thing about freedom, there are no ifs, ands, or buts. It is or it is not. That simple. Let's take a deep breath and feel into freedom. We've talked about it, we've used words, but let's now feel into it. Freedom. What does that feel like? Freedom. Now, what would that feel like in your life? What would that feel like in your life? Not just a little, but all. Freedom. To know yourself. Without these walls or barriers. Freedom to know and to remember and to be this thing you call your soul. Well, it's right there. It's really not someplace else. With the freedom to be aware of it, aware of you. What would that feel like? Let's stop here. Just stop. So much mental energy. Really. Now, it doesn't have to be like that. So much thinking. I think I said to feel. Feel freedom. And now you're starting to think about freedom. What's the difference? Well, if you're thinking, your head, there's a little bit of there's tension in there because energy is running through. If you're thinking, there's a limitation. Every one of you, and you out there too, when I said feel freedom, you should have been smiling. Weren't many smiles in this room. I hope the camera's catching all this. Cameras. And for you out there, you're like, what are they doing there today? To ask you to feel freedom. You're thinking about it. You're thinking in a linear way what that would be like to walk out the door tomorrow with freedom. Please, let's just feel it first. So let's try this again. Take a good deep breath. Actually, I'm going to ask Andra to come up here for a moment. Would you do a few minutes of free breathing?
Yes.
Free breathing.
Yes.
Yes, absolutely.
For the joy of it. For the joy of it. Feel that. I said earlier, the gratitude. Let you feel the joy of it. Freedom. Letting you live. Breathe. Breathe so deeply. Notice it flowing in. Flowing in, all you have to do is receive. All the way down into the core of you. Breathing in and breathing out. Receive. Receive so joyously. Yes. 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 Breathing in, breathing out. The love affair. Freedom. Breathing in, breathing out. Yes. Oh, yes. Let you receive. Breathing in, breathing out. Yes. Breathing in and breathing out. Yes. Oh, yes. Feel it. Feel like it is flowing into every fiber of you, this vibration that may seem new, but stay open and breathe. Breathe, yes. Deeply filling you, receiving, breathing. Yes. Yes, for the joy. Oh, yes. Exhaling so that you can receive even more. Yes. Oh, yes. Joyous, joyous living. Breathing in and breathing out. Yes. Great love affair. Truly living. Living, for you are not living when you have no freedom. Yes. Oh, yes.
Smiling? Good, good. Thank you, Andra. Smiling. Yeah, the feeling of freedom, not to anybody. The feeling of freedom should make you smile. Happy, not so serious. A release, an openness, true freedom. True freedom. So the question now is, what's keeping you from freedom? What's keeping you from freedom? What's keeping you from freedom? Linda, microphone, please.
Okay.
I'll solicit some answers, and then I'll give the correct one. Yes, what's keeping you?
I have a little insight with freedom recently. Around last month, I went to SES, which highly recommend it. Awesome, wonderful. And with that, and then my big yes.
SES, Sexual Energy School. Calder is asking me to spell it out. Thank you.
Yeah. And then I've been a big yes with this freedom thing for a little while now. Just this big yes. And what's happened the last month is I lost a lot of friends. A lot of clients. Things are shifting. Yes. And what I didn't think would happen is I would feel a void. Mm-hmm. I didn't realize that it's been a little bit lonely. So I have a little trepidation today. I'm still a big yes. Don't get me wrong. But there's this feeling like, am I going to be...
A big yes, but...
Right, there's a but in my yes. There's a but. It's a little bit
that
scary.
That sounds strange. There's a yes in my butt.
Yeah.
Or no, I'm sorry, you said there's a but in your yes.
Yeah,
I'm
either way.
So
Either way.
sorry.
Yeah, that's that feeling I'm having of just being a complete and total yes. But.
Could we get the door open back there? We're overheating people in here. Yes, bud. Yeah. So, where are we? Where are you?
So I'm in this place where everything's pretty uncomfortable for me.
Yeah.
And I'm breathing in it.
Word for
I'm breathing in it. I'm still a yes. And I'm a little bit
hang on a second.
scared.
Repeat that exactly what you just said.
I'm breathing in it. And I'm still a yes.
No. Yeah, the words say it, but the energy's not there. You see. You're breathing it inside. Oh God, I hope this works. Maybe I should turn around and go the other way. There is not. And yes, you might lose all your friends and your money. You might lose.
I already lost that a long time ago.
Yeah. Actually, you never really lose anything. It just morphs and expands to come back in a bigger way. Other than your friends. But you get new friends. Good buddies. You never really lose anything. But yes, in the process, and that's why I repeat these lyrics, freedom's just another word for nothing else to lose. Releasing, letting go of. But what's more important, going the way you've been going, or experiencing freedom? No matter what. Loneliness, temporary. Now, a true master in their sovereignty is never lonely. Their best friend is themselves. Oh, what a great thing. Isn't that the best thing, to be your own best friend? And the funny thing happens when you decide to like yourself, everybody else likes you too. Yeah, good. So loneliness, would that be it?
Yeah, but then when I think of the relationships I had, I don't want those back anyway. So it's not really loneliness.
Let's stop right there. I think that's so beautiful, the way you said that.
It's true.
Really. And there's part of you that is saying, oh, but I don't have a relationship. Thank God. Would you just please start adding thank myself, thank God or Spirit on the end of everything you say? Thank Spirit, thank myself. Okay, now you may continue. Yes.
The void, as the transition's happening, is just uncomfortable.
Yes.
And I'm right in the middle of it.
Yes. Why is it uncomfortable?
Because I'm giving up what I knew and I'm not quite sure yet what comes next.
Exactly. There's an expectation. Of what you think should happen. You're in that halfway zone. You're still having human ideas of what should happen, the size of your house and your finances and the way your life should be. You're entering into a whole new zone beyond what you could have imagined before. Now, can you allow it?
Yes.
Good.
Yes.
And I believe that when you said that. I truly believe that.
I can.
Then suddenly the foot is off the brake. Then suddenly there are no yeses in your butts or butts in your yeses. And suddenly you don't have to go through the challenge. I said before, it's the easiest thing you could ever do. Have your freedom. Or the most difficult, you decide. You decide. Good, thank you.
Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you. And wonderful outfit. Next. What's keeping you from freedom?
Well, the past couple of weeks, it's been abundance.
Abundance, yeah, the old abundance thing. I'm going to stop you right there.
I know.
I am so upset about your lack of abundance, all of you. I know, but funny, I don't have to pay bills. Why? We're going to digress for a moment here. Why? You're embarrassing me. True story. You were embarrassing me with the other ascended masters. When I said I was going to work with Crimson Circle, when I sat down in this classroom of the new spiritual energy, they laughed. They laughed and they said, it can't be done, Adamus. And I said, yes, I believe in Shambra. I believe in love. I exaggerate. I said, I think, yes, but. So I believe in Shambra. Now, when I go back, we sit around, we do drink like drunken fish. But we never get drunk. That's an amazing thing. Never have a hangover. That's a wonderful thing about being an ascended master. Yeah, you can drink as much. Look at Mofo over there. Yeah, making love. Not even listening to the lecture. Give him another shot. So I said, when I go back to the Ascended Master Club, when we sit around and smoke cigars, yes, we do. We drink alcohol. We do all those things that you think you shouldn't do. Yes, we do that too. So when I go back there, they say, Artemis, how's it going with the Crimson Circle? And they snicker and kick each other under the table. How's it going at Chamberlain? How is Edith doing? She's doing fine. She is going to ascend in this lifetime, if I have to make her do it myself. See there? Boom. Boom. I'm going to tell him that tonight.
Repeat that.
Would you do it in the microphone?
Wait here. Wait.
So the world can hear. And the Ascended Bastards, they don't believe me sometimes. And so I'll set it up again. So when I go back and I say, she will ascend in this lifetime if I have to do it myself. And then you interrupt.
I already did it.
Oh. Boom.
So did everyone in this room.
Consciousness changed, energy changed. Yes, but you said it, Edith. And you know what? Even if you didn't mean it, that's okay. I'm going to show you something.
You can't call me a liar.
No, I believe it. But even if the rest of you don't believe it, say it anyway. I did, Adamus. And you're damn... Well, let me finish. I did it, Adamus, and you're damned ascended masters. I am enlightened, and I stayed in my physical body on earth. You didn't.
What was that?
That was high. At a recent gathering, I talked to Shambra, and I said, please, just walk like a master, even if you don't feel like a master today. Even if you wake up in the morning and go, oh, my stomach hurts, my head hurts, I got to go to my stinking job. I have to deal with traffic. Stop for a moment. Just stop before you go any further. Take a deep breath. And even if you don't necessarily believe it, fool yourself. You're the greatest liar to yourself of all. Fool yourself and walk like a master. Just walk like a master. And suddenly, a funny thing happens. You start feeling like a master. You start remembering that you're a master. You get a little swagger in your step. Where's my sword? And then suddenly, you feel that you're invincible. There's nothing that can stand in your way. You walk like a master. Whoa, yeah. You suddenly walk like a master. And whether you carry a sword or not, you suddenly, close, eh? You suddenly just feel like you've got this big sword of truth. And everybody clears out of the way. Not that you're going to cut anybody's pretty head off, Dorothy, but you suddenly just feel like you are a master. So you walk like a master. Samurai master. Huh? Well, all right. You walk like You walk like a cool master, like a Kathumi master. I love his new product, Studio K. Why didn't I think of that? You walk like a master. And then suddenly, part of you wakes up and starts acting like one. Starts believing that you're one. Right now, would you hold my sword, dear? Right now, this is the walk, the Shambra walk. You see, that's the way it's being done. We'll do that again, Crash. Yeah, this is the Shambra walk. We'll do this in steps, fast shooting, please. You walk like a master or like a Shambra, and pretty soon you're on the floor crawling like a human. And what I have to go to, the lengths I have to go to. They get that point across. Thank you. Walk like a master. And suddenly you're doing it. Any volunteers? Do it. Good. Good. Excellent. Excellent. The Shambra runway. Yes. Good, good. Truly, I'm not jesting at all.
Can we see Mofo do it?
Don't pick on the poor guy. He's about to pass out. No, truly do that. And then suddenly, you start talking like a master. Instead of talking down like this in that little voice, suddenly you're talking with authority and elegance and meaning and passion. People will just wait for you to say something. They'll be so electrified. No, really. You have to exaggerate a little bit. You have to act a little. You have to act a little bit. You have to put some sensual spice in your voice. No, really. Really sensual. I didn't say sexual, you perverts. I said sensual. Sensual. A little bit of meaning and expressions. Humans talk so flat. You realize, as Lemurians and Atlanteans, you sang, "Hello, Mary, how are you?"
I'm wonderful. I am that I am.
Good, good. See, it was a singing language, and you didn't have to say a lot of words because it wasn't mental. There was feeling to it. But I digress. Where were we? Abundance. Oh, I'm so upset. So I go to my gatherings, which I have one tonight with the Ascended Masters, and they're going to say, "How, Shambra?" I'm going to say they're fine, they're good, they're good. So I picked that up from you. "Oh, I'm fine, I'm good." How's everything? Oh, good. Good. And I'm going to say that tonight, and they're going to laugh like you did, and they're going to say, "Okay, A, what are they doing?" Yeah, A, that's what they call me, A. It's before B, C, D, and Studio K. And they're going to say, "How's Shambra?" Good, good. Yeah, how are you? They're going to say, "No, really, what's going on down there, over there?" Well, we're talking about freedom. Really? You're already talking about freedom with them? Haven't you missed a few steps? Aren't you trying to push it, A? Or they also call me sir. Aren't you trying to push it, going a little too fast? No, they're ready. They're ready. They didn't need all the other stuff that you needed. They're ready for F, U, freedom, F. We're already on that lesson. And they're going to then nail me right on the cross. They're going to say, oh, K.A., how many drove up in Mercedes? I'm going to say, well, I don't think that's that important. And they're going to laugh and say, bullshit. How many drove up in BMWs? How many drove up in a coach? How many drove up in a limo? And couldn't get a ride. That's what they're going to say. They're going to say, A, have they, do they all walk in and donate a lot to Crimson Circle because they're so freaking abundant that it doesn't matter? I'm going to say, I don't keep track of those things. That's Calder and Linda that do that. Get the point? They're going to say, when are they building their new center? The Center for Awakening Humans on Earth. I'm going to say they don't have any money. They don't have money to pay their own bills. They don't have money to buy nice food. They don't have money to stay in nice hotels or to fly first class. They don't have the money to do the things they really want. They're just kind of still living in getting by, just enough. They haven't gotten to that point, but we'll get there. We'll get there. I gotta say, you know, we love them too. And we know that's one of the hardest things. They're going to say, that abundance issue is a booger. It's a tough one. Because they really do understand. And as much as I'm making light of it to accentuate my point, they do understand. But that notwithstanding, it still irritates me. It still irritates me because there is nothing really standing between you and abundance. You think there is? You think you have to like create some grand business or scheme and plan and plot. Abundance is simply a matter of loving yourself. That's it. Once you have that, the abundance flows. Linda, I can read her mind, and a few others are saying, so when, Adamus, are you going to do the abundance class? And I say, whenever they're ready, Linda. Whenever they're ready for that. And it's really pretty simple. We don't have to spend a lot of time on it, but I wonder.
What does ready look like?
Excellent question. I'm glad you asked them. What does ready look like for this abundance thing? And by the way, it ties into the freedom thing. Let me explain something, if you would mind, please.
My pleasure.
Here is consciousness. This is you, soul being. We've talked about it before, the beautiful circle with a dot. Pretty soon you're going to inherit that dot. It's going to be your own. And no, it's not the original sin. That's your essence. So this is consciousness. Consciousness contains no energy. I'm having to go back on some Adamus 101. It contains no energy. Energy was created out of the deep passion and desire to either go back home or go into freedom. So now, consciousness, this thing that you already have, that's awareness and all of your potentials. Not that was given to you by anybody else, but you gave to yourself. This consciousness inspires energy. Energy is just sitting there, neutral. There's enough energy in this room, right here, with us, to fuel this planet for the next 10 years. The entire planet and every human being. Energy is free to those who are free. That's another great quote. I'm going to put that up on the wall. Energy is, I can see it now. Energy is free to those who are free. What's wrong with humanity right now? They're not free. So energy is not free. So there's an energy crisis going on. You see, all this is really simple. All really simple. Consciousness inspires energy, gets it out of its neutral state, and there's a lot of it. There's an old belief that it's limited. It's not. When consciousness is open and free, that energy is just like, whoa, just free and abundant. And it kind of looks like the sun, kind of looks like it's radiating. It's just moving. There's no control of it. There's no buts about it. It just is. It's very spontaneous, very symbolic, not quite the right word, Caldra, but it is very literal, very literal. Where consciousness in its freedom will create anything it needs, wants, chooses, cars, nice houses, any of that. And you should have it. You should have it. Why? Why not? Yeah, why not? That's the first reason. Second reason, if you're going to be a true standard for others, an example for others, the walk like a master. Walk like a master. You've got gold shoes on when you're walking because it doesn't look so good to have, I'm sorry, but these are rentals. These are rentals. You should have gold shoes on. Humans need to see that. Now you're thinking, yes, but we've seen all of these excesses in these televangelists with all their money. So that's not you. That's not you. You're not going to do that. You can have grand abundance. Grand abundance. We're gonna cover that. You asked, dear Linda. So what's the answer? When are we going to do it? When you're ready. When are you ready? Is when you ask me. I was unenthusiastic, uninspired. It's like, no. In the meantime, please do not take any abundance classes. Why? They're non-abundance classes. They're not abundance classes. They're taught by people who do not have abundance, do not understand abundance. So, consciousness, when it's open, when it is free, the energy moves. So easy. When consciousness is limited by beliefs, when consciousness is limited by the mind, by mass or group consciousness, when it is limited because of its fear of becoming free, what you have is very weak, little tiny spurts of energy, which account for lack of abundance, lack of passion in your life, lack of friends, lack of self-esteem, all lack. And the energy does not move. And then you wonder what's wrong. And worse yet, when you wonder what's wrong, what's the first thing you do?
Say, I don't know.
That also, yes. I don't know what's wrong with me. What did I do wrong? I fell down and broke my leg. What did I do wrong? You fell down and broke your leg. It'll heal. The more important thing isn't why you broke your leg. It's, are you going to heal it now? Like that? Not some long, dreary healing. But are you going to heal it? That's the thing. Maybe, just maybe, it's not about trying to figure out why you broke it, what Spirit's trying to tell you, because Spirit doesn't give a damn, really, about that kind of stuff. It's not about what astrological event happened in the moment that you broke your leg. It's really, can I heal it? Like that, instantly, miraculously. What a concept. Oh, we're going to have a long meeting tonight at the Ascended Masters Club. And how did they react to Damos when you gave them that profound wisdom? Oh, they were taking it in. They were breathing it in. Where were we? So the energy slows down. So now, here's the dilemma. I'm going to put this all together now. Because some of you are wondering, WTF today? What, WTF? Where is this going? I'm trying to distract so that you could be free. Thank you. Yeah, and a little humor. And I have to have some stories for when I go back to the club tonight. So, where were we? Freedom. Freedom. There is, yes, you can sit down. There is a innate fear of freedom. By any... He healed. There's innate fear of freedom by any souled being. Why? separation from spirit, the ultimate. Separation, the perceived separation from the eternal. The especially perceives fear, concern that in freedom, in basically untying yourself with the eternal one, letting go, that you will cease to exist, or that you're going to go to hell or something like that. But something really bad will happen. It won't. There is the huge fear that if you take on your own I amness, that you're going to flounder or make mistakes. You see, this is all human thinking. Only a human would think like that. Only an old Atlantean would think like that. That I may do it wrong. You can't do freedom wrong. You can just do it, but you can't do it wrong. The perceived separation from spirit, from the eternal one, perceived separation, letting go of that link to spirit, is actually the real integration of spirit. The integration as shown through the fleur-de-lis, the coming together, that is the true integration. Stop for a moment. I know it's baffling to the brain a little bit, but what did he just say? I just said, when you accept your freedom with no ifs, ands, buts, or I don't knows, when you do it, as Andrew would say, outrageously, boldly, courageously, to accept your freedom, no ifs, ands, or buts, that's the moment you integrate spirit into you. The final meld, the final bringing together. At that moment, you will never, ever, ever again put spirit out there, up there, over there, or anywhere other than in yourself, right there, in your consciousness. That, my friends, is freedom. Thank you. One clap. And tonight they'll say, did they applaud Damas? I made them. I hypnotized them. It's a scary proposition. And it's the proposition that's on the table right now, not just for you, for humanity. They're not in the same consciousness of it as you are. They're not in the same understanding of what freedom is. They think that freedom is electing an official, going to the polls, which really isn't at all. Or they think that freedom is being able to choose what kind of car they can't afford. But it is a dilemma that's facing this planet right now. It is the dilemma. If you take a look at everything that's going on, whether it is in politics, especially in money, that's where it's really showing up. Freedom and money. Look at the controls that are being placed on money right now. Stupid, artificial controls that are not really needed. But there is a very strong faction and groups of people on the planet right now who do not believe that you are responsible enough to handle money. You and everybody else. That they have to control it. They're not doing it so they make more money, because at a certain point it doesn't matter. They're doing it because they think they're helping you. And maybe they were. And maybe they are helping some. I don't believe that is to be true, but they do. They think that they need, that humans basically by nature are sinners. They really do. They believe that humans are flawed, working towards some state of perfection or at least salvation. And I'm not just talking about religious people. There's atheists as well who believe that humans have evolved from cattle dung. And I know we're running out of time, but I'm going to put this proposition to you as well. The general concept that you have is that things happened up there on a higher level. Not really true, but they happened somewhere out there. And you think there was a dissension to this planet. There was a journey to this planet for very ascended reasons. But you think it came from down there, it came from up there, came down here, and now you're coming back full circle. But even, I'm going to throw this proposition at you because this is something we do in our New Earth philosophy school. Imagine that it is all just evolution. Imagine that it started with, I don't know, just a little tiny scrap of nothing and turned into this, turned into the cosmos. It evolved from nothingness. And humans evolved. Imagine that for a moment. And that there is no God up there who handed it down to here. And there never really was a God. It was just a freaky thing, that little thing that happened and created all of this. It still basically is the same dynamic, because there is still a consciousness, maybe that came from the evolution of almost nothing. There is still a consciousness that is creating a God, that is creating this thing called enlightenment, that is creating ascension. There still is something that happened that created love, that created beingness. So even if one would argue that all life just evolved out of some freaky little collision, look what you're creating. You're creating enlightenment. You're creating ascension. And you would also be creating sovereignty and freedom. So no matter which way you look at it, it's still the same. Something to think about. Thank you. And the reality is that neither one is really true. Degrees, but neither one is really true. So where were we? On this planet, the greatest thing happening right now as we leave the old energy era and enter into the new, it's truly about the era of freedom. Are humans ready to handle freedom? We don't know. You don't know. Are you ready to handle it?
Yes.
Doesn't matter to me. Truly, I'm glad, I'm happy, delighted, and all the rest of that you are. But with it comes freedom. With it comes taking responsibility. With it comes walking like a master and then being the master. With it comes realizing that 95% of everything that goes through your mind is not yours. You're picking up on space junk, alien junk, human junk, particles floating around, thought particles floating around that are not yours. Freedom is releasing them because they're not yours. You spend so much of your mind energy debating with yourself about how you're going to make yourself better. That's not freedom. That's not freedom, really. Not at all. Freedom is saying the only thoughts that are mine, the only consciousness that is mine is what I choose in this moment. Freedom is saying that my past lives are not mine. They were experiences of my soul. Freedom is saying that my family, my children, are not mine. I might have birthed them, I might have spent a fortune on them, but they are souled beings as well. Freedom is saying if you're in a situation, whether it's a job, a relationship, a religion, a cult, or or anything else that is not serving you, that you're going to release it. It's the easiest thing that you could ever do, or the most challenging. It's up to you. Freedom is the ability to just walk away. Not to think twice. One more thing about freedom. There's this big, ugly thing at the door to freedom. It's called death. It's called death. That's why I want to take you out on a walk on Halloween Eve. Because you say, oh yeah, freedom is wonderful, it's great, and I can leave my job and I can do all these other things, but oh my God, what if I die? But then you're free, dead free. Really, I mean, this is a big psychological issue. You know, I've said it before, but dying is a whole lot easier than birthing, really. And you've died, what, 1,000, some of you 1,500 times, so easy. Birthing is difficult. That's a whole different story. You know you have another 80 to 100 years in front of you. Dying, you know, you take a rest. But in this whole thing of freedom, it's, what if I die? First of all, it doesn't matter. You're going to die anyway. Hush, fell over the crowd. Are you going to accept that? The question is, the issue is, are you going to die the way you want? That's the real question, yes. That's the real question. By the way, I have to make a little insertion here. There's a famous line that was distorted, and the line should have read like this: to free or not to free? That is the question. They misquoted me. To be or not to be? To free or not to free? Back to death for a moment. You see how I did that little distraction? Energy was going to hell. We do a little distraction. It's amazing. Death. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Well, it doesn't matter. You're going to die. The important thing is to die the way you choose. Walk out of your body. I don't know, whatever, however you want to do it. Just don't do it with a long, lingering illness. That's despicable. That's almost right up there with lack of abundance. Or worse. I haven't decided. So, let's take a deep breath. Freedom. We're going to be talking about this over the next few months in particular. You're going to see it now. Eyes wide open. You're going to see that this is the dynamic on earth. And they can talk about everything else, but these are the result of the question of freedom. Money, politics, energy. Energy. All of these things are really about freedom. Is humanity ready to accept freedom? The civil wars that are breaking out, the strife and the tension, it's all about freedom. And remember, while you are pondering your own freedom, and if you're really ready for it, it's not even just about humanity. This is the question of all of the cosmos, all creation, of your spiritual family, of every soul being, and of spirit. And of spirit. And the interesting thing is it all comes right back to here, right back to you, right back to what you're choosing. Because as you choose for yourself, as you give yourself true, unabashed freedom, that has a profound impact on all of creation. What does it do? Well, it illuminates the potential. And there are some regions of creation right now where there is no light on this thing that you would call freedom. There is no understanding of it. There's places on this planet right now that have no concept. There are even some languages on the planet that do not have the word freedom in their language. It does not exist. It is not in their consciousness. So it comes back to you, this esteemed group, right here in Coal Creek Canyon, watching in on the internet. It comes down to you. Not about their freedom, but about illuminating a potential, first for yourself, and then for others. It is the question right now, above all. Until we meet again, I would like you to take a look at your life, not in a judgmental way, but as an enlightened observer. What's keeping you from your freedom? Distraction. What's keeping you from your freedom? What are the things that you have chosen to keep you from being free? And more than anything else, what does freedom feel like? Not think like. Not the day-to-day routine activities. That is the byproduct of freedom. But what does freedom feel like? You are going to be dreaming about freedom, not because I said so, but because this is the topic at hand. When you dream about freedom, you're going to have some unfree-like dreams. In other words, that you're being imprisoned to help you to understand what it feels like not to be free. You're going to have dreams of what were your soul's past lives, hopefully no longer yours, of what it was like to be a slave owner or a slave, of what it was like to be an Atlantean in the communal sense. Well, that was a lack of freedom. Everything had to be done as a group. You'll have dreams of what you call alien places, other places around creation, around the cosmos, that you're going to visit, sometimes with a group, sometimes by yourself, of places that have absolutely no consciousness or understanding of freedom. Because sometimes it helps to take a look at not having things in order to help you understand what it's like to have it. Will it be intense? That's up to you. Could be. Will it be easy? Could be, should be. Should be the easiest thing. Every one of you should just walk out of here totally free. Or it could be challenging and difficult. Thank you. So now I want to give my answer. It's going to be a little bit of an odd answer to what is freedom. Or specifically, how can you give yourself freedom right now? One very simple word, for lack of a better word, very, very simple. Stop for a moment and feel into freedom. Feel into freedom. The issue at hand for you, the planet, spirit, everyone, everything. The real transition, the real end of the old world issue. There's one thing as it applies to you in your life. One very simple thing. It's that word, forgiveness. That's it, forgiveness. With that, my dear friends, all is well in all of creation. Thank you. All is well in all of creation. Thank you. Enjoy life, be free, and be abundant. Thank you.
And so it is. Thank you, Adamus. And Norma will do some breathing out. And so it is.